Good morning. Welcome to another episode. We're going to have a training on low code or no code technology. Today we'll be talking about low code and no code technology, and we will be focusing on basically looking at the low code and no code technology. I am a big data scientist and an AI research scientist. I've been conducting research in AI. Our approaches to technology has improved in the field of software engineering or software development. I also lecture Python programming, machine learning, and data science, and also web development using Django and Flask. You could check out on my YouTube channel. Innovative approaches in the field of AI to software development that aims to simplify and accelerate the process of creating applications and software solutions. Our focus is going to be on this preamble of AI and software. We'll be focusing mainly on the professional experience to the developers who would wish to build or deploy application with minimum or no coding experiences. And this training is basically focusing on designers who do not have technical or professional experience in software development and to build and deploy software application. So with the low code technology, we will be focusing on so many key areas, but let's first try to look at what our presentation is going to cover. And to make it much easier, I have a training team with me, and me, Geoffrey, and Livingstone will be taking you through this low code or no code technology training. This training is aimed to equip non-technical business professionals who would want to build applications for their company. We'll have the hands-on training as well to teach you how to build apps in 20 minutes without coding or little coding completely, which is required. But of course, that is the training team. We will move to the next part of our training, which is going to be which kind of applications do you expect in this content to be built. But that's not the focus. But our content is just going to cover introduction, then it's going to cover understanding of LC, which stands for low code, and NC, which stands for no code. Then we'll look at the benefits and drawbacks of LC and NC. Then we will look at the comparison with the TDM, which is the traditional development methods that are there. So that's going to be our focus. Now let's begin with the overview of our training. Our training is literally going to cover the concepts of creating an amazing software applications without coding. And one of the things that we will be focusing in this talk is basically to use the power of GUI interfaces to help us build or create amazing applications with drag and drop interfaces or pre-built components. These components often will equip users, especially in low-code technology, to easily develop complex applications without writing extensive codes. And that's going to be one of my big focus in the training. Then also, we do not want to strain a lot of your effort, but we will be focusing on making sure that while trying to do the coding, it's going to be important to also look at the emerging fields that will allow you to write an application without coding. So that's going to be our focus. Then also, it is also becoming increasingly an important thing for people to focus on when it comes to low-code technology. which basically just help people to create amazing software. And that is basically in our preamble. Now, to kickstart our main introduction to low code, we will look at two aspects of this technology. Remember, I'm talking about LC, which is low code, and NC, which is no code technology. But when it comes to low code technology, of course, these are just platforms that helps to provide visual development environment to enable user to design, build, and deploy applications using drag and drop interfaces. And also with the pre-built components, these platforms helps to equip you with various tools and templates that you can use to carry on with the integrations that is very possible with this low-code technology. We would first look at low-code technology, then we also look at the other concepts of no-code technology. So, and of course, you can create these extensive applications or complex applications without writing any code, and this is something which is practically possible. Now, to make this a little bit important is that we will be focusing on the key features of low-code or no-code technology. And one of the things that I would love to tell you is that whenever you're looking at low-code technology, it's very important to look at the visual development. How are you able to assemble components and the graphical user interfaces, the GUI interfaces, rather than writing the codes manually? You know, with the TDM, which is the traditional development methods, you have to build your application from scratch. But with the low code, you use the pre-built components that helps you drag and drop. And it's having varieties of tools and templates and other integration capabilities that can help you build your application easily. Then we're also going to look at the reusability of low-code platforms. Now, with the reusability of these low-code platforms and a little bit saving in terms of effort in the development processes. You see, when you're able to reuse some of the templates and the components within the pre-built low-code technology, you end up saving a lot of time, and basically you end up becoming more productive when reusing some of these codes. So that concept of reusability is very key in low-code technology. Then another thing that you also need to look at it is that the integration capabilities in the low-code technologies. So integration with internal services and databases, it's really very simple. When you look at how you do integrate with the Excel, you may not need to go into the MongoDB, MySQL, or SQLite, all those other DB. But of course, you could even integrate it with your DB can be in Excel spreadsheet form. That is one of the good things. Or the LibreOffice Calc Excel format, or the Google Sheet. But of course, with this, you would be using more of the Google Sheet to create or connect to your DBs or databases. Of course, it is simplified. You can also create your DB using the built-in connectors that can help you to integrate your database, and they have some components that you can use to set up the rules of your DB. Collaborations in low-code technology platforms. According to what I have seen in the surveys that I've done and in the research I've been doing, low-code platforms offers collaboration features, allowing teams to work together on projects seamlessly. You have seen a lot of applications when you're doing the traditional method of coding from scratch. You could collaborate using some of the editor tools like the Visual Studio Code editor, which is very popular for the TDM, the traditional development method, where you build your application from scratch. So let's try to look at some of the use case scenario when it comes to the low-code technology. Okay, the use case scenarios are quite very many when it comes to low-code technology, and hopefully we will be able to interact with some of these use case scenarios. I'm sorry that my graphics do not represent some of them, but I will try to talk about it. But the use case for low-code technologies includes rapid prototyping and development of a business application. Remember, a prototype is the initial step that someone takes into building any application. That first demo of your application that you use. Then also one thing that I need to focus and probably look at it in the use case is workflow automations and business process management. When you look at the BPM, which is the business process management of any business, if you want to deal with processes in businesses, you realize that to automate some of these workflow processes, like if you're handling cash in, cash out, or an admission process in a university, all this can be done instead of using Trello's or maybe Asana, those the project management tools. You could also create your own business process management application, which is quite easy in terms of when you look at the use of low-code technology. Then mobile application development, the mobile apps, which has of course, you know, majority of people use mobile apps. So it would be a good approach to build both the web and the mobile app application. Of course, these are the use cases that we can really see in the field of low-code technology. And of course, one beauty with low-code technology is that there's also options to create a CRM systems. CRM, which is basically the customer relation system, the customer relationship management systems. So if you want to always which is a good approach whenever you're doing anything in business, to be in touch with your customers, to create a customer relational systems. So this is one thing that it's really important for any use case that you can pick up. Then you also deal with the CMS. The CMS, which stands for the content management system. You've seen a lot of CMS like Drupal, WordPress, Joomla for building websites basically. And then also we have seen Wix. All these are just low-code technology where you can create these applications. Of course, with the revolutionization of the AI, there's going to be a growing field of low-code technology. Much as the engineers will be doing the actual task, but it's basically to automate, because we have seen a number of systems being built and in silos not being used or not being well designed by different programmers. So this is one of the things that will make low-code technology to be a little bit more popular when it comes to this field. Then another thing that I'm going to now focus on after talking about low-code technology is now our focus is just going to jump straight to the no-code technology. Now, when it comes to no-code technology, it's not quite different, but with no-code means you do not write any code. With low-code means you have some little codes that you can write when it comes to that approach. So that's why the focus is going to be on such areas when it comes to looking at some of these applications. Okay, so I really know that this talk is going to be interesting because you've covered a bit of low-code technology. Now let's also dive and look at some of the backgrounds of no-code technology. Then we can look at the features of no-code technology, which is normally referred as the NC. So no-code platforms takes the concepts of step-by-step to remove the manual coding altogether when we look at this approach. And of course this approach covers or caters for little or no technical background on on simple or intuitive interfaces when creating applications. And one of the things that I've seen quite popular or interesting in the field of no-code technology is with the interactions that we've gone through. We've seen quite a number of people trying to embrace. Of course, it's not yet popular, because when you look at way maybe like from 2021, that is when the idea of okay, the idea has been there, but of course the popularity of no code started literally in 2021 after the pandemic. That's when most people started embracing the use of no code technology, because it's something that is still growing, and we hope these talks could also reach out to many viewers or viewership, so that people get to learn about building applications using no-code technology, which basically the concept of trying to remove the manual or or any traditional development methods of building applications. But of course, we would also look at the comparisons later and see whether this would be a very good approach in low-code or no-code technology. So let's look at the features of no-code technologies. The visual features of no-code technologies uses application. It relies so much on actions and configurations. Remember, with no-code technology, it's basically about the data, and then the layout and the actions. What actions are the clicks or buttons performing? So that's why the visual interface, of course, users can build applications using a visual interface, relying on simple actions and configurations. So the action bit of it is the one which is going to be much important, and the layout, and then also the database. We will look at this in a practical bit of it in our next episode, but I will try to do the comprehensive training on this. But of course, the training won't go quite long, because it's a simple technology to use, and I believe businesses should embrace it as long as you have access to a computer and internet, and you have some skills of reading. You should be good to go and build your application. They also have, when you look at the key features of no-code technologies, they have pre-built functionalities. No-code platforms comes with ready-to-use components, of course, that helps the logic of the user, especially when you combine these logics, you're able to create an application. So no-code platforms definitely they come with ready-to-use components. These ready-to-use components are very important with the pre-built functionalities in creating application. Accessibility. Of course, when we look at no-code technology, literally we see that these platforms with no-code, and then the non-technical users, they can actively participate in the development process without relying on the traditional techniques of writing the script from scratch. And that's one of the beautiful things when it comes to no-code technology. Okay, then also we're going to look at some of the use cases that are there with the low-code technology. So let's also look at the use cases which are there. So with the use cases, it's very, very important to know that when you want to create a personal website, a blog, or your own personal website, you could employ this no-code technology to build applications. And of course, there are quite a number of them. We will look at it, but the most popular ones are the one we'll be able to go with. But of course, I'll try to mention the one I can, and if possible, yeah. Then another thing that we need to focus on is it's very simple to build a web or a mobile application using no-code, because the tools are really there. Definitely, you just do most of the drag and dropping. Then also we have the internal and data management applications, because your data is going to be stored somewhere. So there's that internal tool for helping you get control over your data. And there's security, because since it's a standard, that means offers a lot of security in that. So yeah, we also have the landing pages and the marketing campaign pages. There are a number of prototypes that can be used for these platforms. So with this no-code technology, prototyping and proof of no concept applications, this can be used especially when it comes to building a lot of applications. So let's try to look at this in the field of both low-code or no-code technologies. That, of course, in a nutshell, this no-code technologies reduces the time and resources that are required for software solutions. Remember, beginning from the SDLC, okay, the system development life cycle. So, which sometimes a lot of time is spent on requirement gathering in system design and analysis. So, this is one good thing that no code can save you a bunch or reduces time on those resources. They also help to democratize application development and allowing businesses to address specific needs more effectively and efficiently. So when it comes to no code technologies, and it's also a faster and also foster a culture of innovations among the youths and of course business entrepreneurs to be present online, because these days it's all about the online presence in businesses. And of course this can be done quickly and it can be implemented with extensive without extensive coding knowledge. That's what I'm trying to mean. Okay, we will now try to go to our next slide, and we'll now try to understand a little of background on no-code or low-code technologies. Of course, low-code or no-code landscape is a beautiful field to look at. And one of the things is that the low-code and no-code landscape is very experiencing, and it is significant in terms of growth, and it is evolving rapidly. I just want to tell you, if you don't know about the evolution of low-code and no-code landscape, this is the right time you should be aware of, because this field is evolving a little bit rapidly. While I can't be able to provide you the real-time data about how it's evolving, but I can just try to tell you that with my overview and the trends, the way I look at low-code or no-code platforms, they are really spicing up to this point. And let's try to probably look at the most common low-code landscapes that are there. Probably you could have heard of them or you haven't heard of them, but if you haven't heard of them, this is going to be a very good opportunity for you. Okay, so we can try to look at the landscape. So the low-code landscape. So the low-code platforms are quite many, but I'll try to mention according to the one which are more popular, and then the one which will also focus on the training. The first one, which is I think very popular, is the OutSystems. Known for its comprehensive capability to allow users to build complex applications. And one of the beauty with this OutSystems is that they offer extensive integration options that users can utilize. Then also we have another platform which is called the Mendix. When you see Mendix, I think it's the second largest leading low-code platform that is out there. And Mendix offers a friendly environment and a strong collaboration features, making it popular for rapid application development. If you have companies that rely so much on application collaborations to collaborate on a single project, so Mendix can be a good approach for that. Then we also have Appian. Appian is also a good one and focus on automations and also creating business rule management, enabling organizations to create workflow solutions. So if you look at building more of workflow solutions, then Piano would be a good choice for you. Then you also have the Microsoft Power Apps, which is also on the other side, the part of the Microsoft platform. It integrates well with Microsoft tools, making it more appealing Microsoft centric organization tool or platform to use. For our particular training, there's also Adalo, which is a good option, but and then many more of these platforms are there. I know I have not mentioned about the Amazon NOCODE, which is also popular, but we also have the Webflow. But to be specific with our training, we will focus on the Glide and Bubble, which we subscribe to, and of course you pay some code to get some. You can create this application with at free cost, but it's better to buy some standard that can help you build over 50 applications. The free ones may not allow you to create very many. Of course, the free apps do not have most of. They are a little bit limited, but it's important to go with the paid ones, which gives you almost everything. It cuts a lot of costs. Some are charged probably $100 or even less, and in that way you could save a bunch of money hiring a developer from building an application from scratch. So that is the talk about the leading landscape. So let's look at the one options, which is on the adoption in the enterprises. So with low code, which since it has gained a lot of traction in large enterprises due to their ability to accelerate applications development, and then also improve and also foster collaborations between business and IT teams. So it's a good approach in business. So adoption is very high of the low code platforms because of the tractions they have gained and how they are being accelerated in the development and then improving the agility of these software platforms. Then we also have another one, which is the expansion into the vertical markets. Of course, we know very well that low-code solutions have expanded in various virtual markets and finances and healthcare organizations, and governments and catering or specific industries are really expanding onto the use of virtual markets, which is a good thing in low code. Another thing that I also want to probably we talk about is the no code landscape. Remember, we look at the no code, the low code landscape. Now we want to focus on the low code landscape. So let's look at the rise of no code platform. Of course, the popularity in terms of simplicity and accessibility to non-technical users, which basically allows many of them to focus on creating applications without any coding knowledge. That is one of the landscape. There's another landscape of web and mobile app development. We know very well that with the widely used building simple web or these web applications, they have helped many businesses and startup companies to build web apps or mobile apps for their company to help run their company and make their company be present online. Then empowering citizenship or citizen developers. So it's a good thing that no-code also has played a critical role in empowering different citizens to build applications, especially those who lack formal coding training. in different domains, but of course with some basic understanding of how application works. That's why it is a good approach always to focus on this landscape. The integration with other tools. I must say that with the integration with other tools, low code has become very popular. Some no-code platform offers integration with other popular softwares or services, and then it helps in their applications with extensive tools. Okay, now let's focus and then look at the general trends of low code and no code. When it comes to the general trends in terms of the expansion of the ecosystem, now with the expansion of the ecosystems, we realize that both low code and no code platforms aims to expand their ecosystem by providing pre-built templates, components, and integrations to streamline development. Then also when you look at it in terms of focus on scalability, yes, it's present, and adoptions has really made it possible, or emphasis have taken on to make sure that low code and no code solutions meet the enterprise grade scalability and security requirements. Remember, security is a very important thing when it comes to low code or no code. Then also one other thing that which is developers collaboration, which is also present with low code and no code, that enables and encourages collaboration between professional developers and citizens to use or foster or share development environment. Democratization of developers. Low code and no code technologies have played vital roles when it comes to democratization and empowering users across to participate in the development process. There's integrations with ML. So there's also been integrations with AI and ML. Some platforms explore the integrations of artificial intelligence and then the machine learning capabilities to enable users to focus onto building applications without extensive coding. Also note that these landscapes have just evolved significantly, but I just want you also to know that there are quite more current or recent approaches that are there in this field. But of course, we will try to explore them as we go forward. The weather is a bit changing as we do our presentation. We're now going to look at the benefits. So let's look at the benefits a little bit, I think more faster. Now, low code and no code technologies.